Today we went shopping at the Stormville Antique Show, located at the Stormville Airport, about an hour and a half north of Manhattan. I believe they do this show once a year. This was my first time hitting up this event, so it was kind of a new experience for me. When we first arrived, we got there at around 8 o'clock in the morning. A lot of vendors were still kind of getting set up for the day, but it was kind of a slow start. I found that the event was split up into two sections. The first section was more of new items and wholesale buyouts, but the second section was all of the kind of antiques and secondhand items, which is really what I was there for. This first booth was loaded with 80s and 90s pop culture memorabilia, a lot of cool things, action figures, toys, cards, quite overwhelming. I did get a chance to go through some Pokemon cards. They were taxing a little bit. Didn't end up buying any for myself, but it was still cool to look through. I do feel like it's gotten really tough to find Pokemon cards out in the wild, especially for really good prices. I guess that just comes with kind of the popularity and increase of collectors in the game. We're still at the same booth. Like I mentioned, this booth was absolutely insane. Just jam-packed full of stuff. You honestly could have spent probably the better portion of an hour going through everything at this booth. I was mainly looking for clothing, which I did find a box of stuff here. A couple of anime tees, but nothing too old, so I had to pass on these. At this booth, I did find some really great stuff. The guy was very friendly and was willing to work on price if I got a bundle. I ended up getting a handful of things, some things that weren't on camera just because my camera ended early. But as you can see, we got this really nice New York City graffiti t-shirt. It kind of reminds me of a Janko tee. I couldn't find an exact one online, but found some similar. At the same booth, this guy had a ton of hats. I ended up grabbing this Logo 7 Chicago Bulls snapback along with this Pisces cap. There was a ton of sports caps at this booth. Unfortunately, a lot of them were fitteds, which I don't tend to deal in. I know I'm probably hurting myself by, avoiding fitted caps, but I don't know, just something about them. They don't really sell that well for me. He was only charging, $5 to $10 per cap. So, there could have been some money to be made on these caps. If you see one that I should have picked up, please let me know in the comments. I'm always willing to learn and to keep an eye out for things in the future.
Thank you.
Probably one of my favorite finds of the day was this 96 Chicago Bulls Logo Athletic snapback. I love finding Logo Athletic caps. They sell really fast for me. And fortunately, this guy wasn't charging too much.
I would sell either one for $20.
$20?
Yeah. So anyway, they record Master Vincenzo on the phone saying to the owner of the restaurant, he goes, he says, how we used to play baseball in the neighborhood.
$20.
They hit him with a ball bat. They just didn't kill him.
15.
They broke his knees, I think, or something. It's just horrifying.
Should take 15?
Sure.
Mind breaking a 20 for me? Thank you.
This last booth had a bunch of boxes they were just pulling out of their trailer. So we were first to get into them, even though it was a little bit later in the day. And it was just packed full of vintage clothing. I ended up grabbing pretty much everything that I could find. There was very little that I passed on. I think I ended up with maybe 10 or 15 items from this booth. I didn't get video footage of everything. In the end, he only ended up charging me $10 for the whole bag of items, so that was a really great deal. The last two small little finds were a 90s Dick Tracy snapback and a Celine Dion baseball cap. I think I ended up paying $10 for the 2 caps, so it was a good deal. That was it for the day. There were a handful of other items that I didn't show on camera, but if you want to see everything, head over to my Instagram page at Phoenix Thread to check out the entire haul.